Welcome to my quick start guide for the Sonicware Liven XFM.
Freebie.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Alex Thompson. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So, you just got your hands on a Sonicware Liven XFM. You pop your 6AA batteries in, or maybe you use your Korg Volca power supply, you hold the power button, turn it on, and now what? You can't get the pesky internal speaker to turn off. You can't find any blank patterns. How do you even browse the presets? Maybe you figured that out, but don't understand why the filter doesn't work, or how to change the polyphony. Don't worry, this guide's got you covered. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove this little overlay that comes with the XFM. This is for editing the actual FM synth. We're not going to be doing that today. The next thing you need to know is that the function button right here will be your friend when learning the basics of this device. The function button allows you to access the secondary functions of these buttons here, this whole row. They are labeled in caps underneath, as well as the secondary function of these white keys here, again labeled in caps underneath. The shift button, while still important, is not nearly as pivotal for learning the device itself. The shift button, when held, will allow you to access all of the lowercase values beneath these knobs. So first up, let's tackle getting that speaker to turn off. By default, it is on. Now, it should be noted that I'm using the line out for my audio. If you are using the headphone jack, that should mute the internal speaker on its own, or you can just turn it off by holding function and coming all the way over here to the last white key with a picture of the speaker and the X next to it. Click it. It'll say mute. If we click it again, speaker, mute, turns it off. The XFM comes loaded with 16 sort of demo patterns. Press play to hear the first one. Press play again to turn it off. If you want to change to a different pattern, simply press the pattern button, and now buttons 1 through 16 here will represent the 16 different patterns. Simply press a new button and then press play. Again, play will stop the pattern. But let's say you want to find a blank pattern. When you press pattern, again, all 16 of these at first are fully loaded. We need to go to a different bank of patterns. So to do that, we're going to use the arrow keys here. If you press one with the pattern button selected, you can see we can scroll between all 8 of our banks. Let's go to bank 2. And now once we've decided on the bank we want, we can then press buttons 1 through 16 to pick a pattern from that bank. Only bank 1 is full of the demo patterns. Now when I press play, nothing. Loading up a blank pattern will also get us this sort of default sound here. It's great, but what if we want to change it? There are 4 different synth modes on the Liven XFM. 3 of them are sort of different engines for morphing sounds together. The 4th one is called Library, and it's the basic way to select a sound. So to get to Library, we need to hold function and then press button number 1 here, which as we can see under it says synth. If we press it, we can see we're scrolling through the different engines. You can also see them on the little table right here. So we have XLab, Xform, XLFO, and finally LIB for library. Now we are in library mode. If you look next to the word library, we can see corresponding controls for each of these knobs. Just like patterns, presets are organized into banks and then slots within those banks. So the first knob here controls what bank we have selected. We can see the banks are named. So we have XFM1, 2, lead 1, lead 2, key 1, key 2, pad 1, pad 2, string 1, string 2, and so forth. Let's go to string 1. Now, the second knob here is what controls the actual sound that we are on within that bank. So we have ensemble 1, ensemble 2, and a whole bunch more. Seriously, a lot more. Let's pick this one right here. The preset we have selected I think sounds quite nice. However, I think it could benefit from maybe a bit of a low-pass filter. So if you look over here, we can see the filter section, the cutoff knob, the depth knob for the envelope, and the time knob for the envelope for the filter. You'll notice when we turn these, they don't do anything. That's because we actually have to turn the filter on, which might sound silly, but it's super easy to do. Simply hold the function button and go to button number 2 here. Right underneath it, it says filter. Pressing through this button will scroll us through the different types of filters. You can see we've got some low pass options here, some high pass options, and some band pass options. The shapes there represent the envelope that the filter is going to come with. And we can control the depth and time of that envelope again with these knobs here. The knob on the left, as it says, will control the cutoff. If you'd like to control the resonance, we need to hold the Shift button and then use the cutoff knob. Easy. Finally, let's talk about polyphony. Polyphony decides whether a patch is capable of playing one note, multiple notes, or the style of that one note. Polyphony is handled, like so many other things on the XFM, again with the function button. If we hold it down and go to button number 5 here on the sequencer, we can see it says mode and adjust, and in between that, voice. So these are how we adjust our polyphony options. We've got 4 different polyphony options here on the XFM. We have polyphonic, monophonic, legato, and arpeggiator. Let's go to monophonic real quick. Works as you'd expect. What's cool is we can very easily adjust our portamento from this section as well. So again, hold function and press the adjust button. Now we can use the value knob to control the amount of portamento. Let's set it really high for demonstration. Higher. Too high. There we go. That also works if we switch to legato mode. Pretty simple. Let's switch now to arpeggiator mode. To demonstrate the arpeggiator, I'm going to pick a different sound. I've got an electric piano selected. To engage the arpeggiator, just hold down a note. As any good arpeggiator should, you can also hold down multiple notes. If we turn our attention back to the function and adjust button, instead of changing the amount of portamento, this time holding function and pressing adjust, we'll cycle through the different arpeggiator playstyles. There's a lot of them, they're pretty cool. Nice. So there's the extreme basics of the Liven XFM. Those are the things that thwarted me. They really threw me for a loop when I first got started, trying to figure this thing out. From here, what I really suggest you do is set an hour of your day aside and go check out Chris Lody's about 53, I think it is, minute-long tutorial. Chris will really take you through everything you need to know about this machine, and that guide is an invaluable resource. It even touches on using that overlay to edit the FM synth as well, which is not as intimidating as I thought it was, by the way. So I highly recommend you do check that out. All of that being said, this is a really complicated device, so please feel free to leave any questions you may have in the comment section. I will do my best to get to them as best I can, and I'm sure that other XFM owners will jump in and help out as well. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.